Hello and welcome to the iGameOver channel. This is me again, and this time we're going to talk about the newest Apple release. And I mean by that the newest MacBook Pro and MacBook refresh. I would call it a refresh. I don't know, some people would argue, but I don't think so. Well, let's dive right into it. But before we do, a little disclaimer: you're looking at the person that works with Macs. I used Macs for a long time and I genuinely like Apple products. And I know that Apple gets lots of hate, but they work for me. You know, it's like some people like Android, some people like Windows phones, and and Windows in general. I like Macs and I like iOS. So, I guess whatever floats your boat, right? So as you can see, actually, I am rocking a Mac. So we'll be comparing a little bit to this. But so yeah, take it from a perspective of someone that actually likes Macs a lot. So let's see what I think about the new Mac lineup. Well, the first thing we're going to talk about is the new Touch Bar. It's the biggest feature, it stands out the most, and that's why we're going to talk about it first. I personally think it's a pretty good idea. This happened before. We've seen things, similar things to that, but nowhere near as advanced as this. I like the idea that it sort of changes, depends on the app or the software you're using. So if you're editing music, you're going to have a different, layout to when you use a different app like editing movies or listening to iTunes or Spotify or whatever it is that you want to do, or even, be normal Finder. So I very much like that idea too. The next thing I want to talk about is the new Mousepad. Mousepad is much bigger, and I really mean much bigger. It's just so much beyond what the older mouse pads are. Just take a look at my pad on this one. This is a MacBook Pro 15-inch. Now the previous lineup, this is a mid 2015 model, so it's a previous to the one that just got released. And then just take a look at this. I mean, it's not a bad size and it's a good touchpad, but it's considerably smaller. The new touchpads are, they are still force sensitive. They still just simulate the clicking, which is nice because I reckon a solid state like that won't break as easily. So again, pretty big kudos to Apple for doing that. Although I have to admit I'm a little disappointed because there were some rumors that you will be able to use the Apple Pen, get it? Apple Pen, on those big trackpads, using it basically a little bit like a tablet. But I guess not. Maybe in the next generation. Point number 3 is the fact that they are thinner and lighter. And, Mac is pretty well known for making their products thinner and lighter, but this time they didn't compromise on the battery. In fact, the new MacBooks have a longer battery life, if I recall correctly, around, an hour on average. So I think it's a pretty good thing. So thinner and lighter products that are more powerful and last longer on the battery, it's a clear win to me. I like the idea that it is thinner and lighter. That brings us neatly to another point. The weird naming. I mean, what's up with the naming? We have let's look at their lineup, right? We have a MacBook, just MacBook, the one 12-inch. We have a MacBook Air. We have a MacBook Pro without Touch Bar. We have MacBook Pro 13-inch with Touch Bar. And then we have a MacBook Pro 15-inch. I mean, since the 13-inch MacBook is already smaller than MacBook Air, couldn't they just take that, baseline 13-inch without the Touch Bar, and just, replace MacBook Air with it? I mean, it's smaller, it's lighter, it's more power efficient, and it's way more powerful than MacBook Air, and it has a Retina display. I'm not entirely sure why, but something to think about it. Maybe some consistency with your naming, so things are not as confusing as they are right now. Our next point is Touch ID. Yes, the new MacBooks get their Touch ID, and by new MacBooks I mean the one with the touch bar, because right now on the top right hand of the chassis, I mean if you look at the touch bar, it's on the right hand side, there is a fingerprint sensor, and just quite like on the iPhone or iPad, you will be able to not only log into your system using your fingerprint, but you're also going to be able to pay for things with it too. So that should make things a little bit easier, because I for once actually enjoyed that. It makes my experience that much easier to use the fingerprint sensor. So yeah, it's pretty good. And now for the connectivity. Yes, finally, we get more than one port, but there always has to be a catch with Apple, isn't it? Well, you get for anywhere from 2 to 4 USB ports, but they're all USB-C. So, well, you're either going to have to change all your peripherals or buy a whole ton of dongles and converters. Genius. But yeah, I mean, USB-C, it's an awesome thing. It's reversible. It can deliver lots of power. The idea is that you'll be able to plug that cable any way you want to any of the USB ports, and your computer will also charge through it. You can drive the new LG 5K display without a problem. In fact, you can drive 2 4K displays through this while still having peripherals and some external hard drive connected. So they're pretty awesome ports, and I understand that whole Apple forward and future thinking, but you know, it's a future, and now it's now, and the state of technology is not at the point where we can just use USB-C all the time. Most peripherals do not have USB-C at all. Talking about even iPhones and iPads don't have USB-C, they have the proprietary Lightning connector. So if you ever connected your iPhone directly to your computer to charge it or to sync it with iTunes or anything like that, well, then guess what? You're going to have to either buy a new cable or you're going to have to use some sort of dongle. Like I said, genius. Nearing till the end, let's take a look at the keyboard. It's a very much love or hate relationship, because they introduced to their entire lineup, I guess apart from their MacBook Air, all the new butterfly switch keyboards. Although in this new lineup, those are the butterfly 2 switches, so they're a little bit more improved. They promise to have a little bit more travel, but we're going to see whether this holds any water. And like I said, it's a very love or hate relationship, because they are very, very shallow keys. In the era when everyone wants to have mechanical keyboards with as much travel as possible, so you can get that tactile feel to your typing, the Macs definitely won't deliver on that. It's just not possible unless they use some sort of black magic on it. I don't know. But back to the topic, I don't really think this is going to be the greatest keyboard in the world. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like those keyboards. It took some time to get used to it. I used to have those 12-inch MacBook, and I really liked it. It was pretty good. It's a pretty nice quick typing experience, although you don't get that much feedback from it. But there we go. Now you don't have any choice. If you want a good MacBook, you're going to have to just get used to it. And lastly, we're going to take a look at the pricing. And how do I say that so I stay family friendly? It's just stupid. And I really say that with underlined and with all capital letters, because you know, you can read on the internet, on 9gag and other places, that Apple fans will buy Apple products regardless of how much they cost. I don't think this is true. I think their pricing is ridiculous. The new MacBooks cost an arm and a leg, basically. It's so stupid, in fact, that this laptop, this one that you're looking at, this is a 15-inch baseline model, right? So it's a base model, not the one with the AMD graphics. It's enough for me. It's enough for editing videos, and it's perfect. And the difference between 13 and 15-inch laptops were always quite a big one. I mean, don't get me wrong, Apple always sold expensive equipment, and even the MacBook Pro 13-inch was always expensive, but there was always quite a bit gap between the basic 13-inch and the basic 15-inch. In the new lineup, for some reason, the 13-inch MacBook, the one with the touch bar, costs nearly as much as the 15-inch MacBook used to do. It's ridiculous. If you look at the States market, because I guess, you know, when we draw comparisons, it's always in dollars, so I'm not going to get localized, but the 15-inch MacBook used to call around, what was it, $1,999, and the new 13-inch, correct me if I'm wrong, it's $1,700 or $1,800 nearly. So it's nearly the same price. And on top of that, yes, I know that there are a little bit better processors, and a graphics card in the top 15-inch model is it's upgraded too, but it's not such big difference. And I think it's just ridiculous, the pricing, because I guess the point is that it should be like that. You upgrade your computer with better graphics and with better processor, and you either keep the price the same or you try to keep price lower. And if you keep it, and if you put it higher, then very, very little, not like this. And you know, lots of you will say that this is Apple's greed, and to a point I got to agree. But if we will try to look at it from other perspective, who knows? Maybe the manufacturing of you know, the producing of that laptop costs much more now. Who knows? I mean, Apple will never disclose that, so we may never know. But who knows? Maybe it just costs much more to produce that kind of laptop. But I guess I might be just a little bit naive and try to excuse them. But well, who knows, really? Who knows? Yeah. But in the end of the day, I think that the pricing is simply ridiculous and borderline stupid. So to summarize it, touch bar, really nice. Mousepad, really good. It's thinner and lighter and more powerful, so that's always good. And the battery is longer and bigger. That's really good too. The naming is a little bit weird. They could unify that. The Touch ID is a great option. The USB-C alone, it's well, let's say maybe too forward thinking, and the butterfly 2 switches, you just have to get used to it. They might not be your thing, so I would suggest you go to the store and try it out first, a few times maybe even, and then you get the price, which may be the biggest turn off for anyone that is considering buying it. Now, as an Apple owner, I am not going to be buying a new one. I'm pretty happy that I got this one. I got this one a few days ago because I knew that people are going to sell those pretty cheap because they will want to upgrade to the newest and greatest, so to speak. I'm really happy with this one. It edits the videos really nice. It edits the photos really well. It's powerful, and it just has everything that I possibly need from the laptop. And I've saved some money in the process, and I bought it practically new. So that was good. I'm pretty happy that I didn't hold off. I was considering if not to hold off and just go for the brand new one. But you know what? I think I made a good decision, and I don't see myself upgrading my MacBook until maybe such time as the new generation comes up. And maybe then I will be tempted. But then again, not if the price is as ridiculous as it is right now. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think about it in comments down below. Do you like Apple? Do you hate Apple? Do you like their products? Do you dislike their products? Maybe you don't care. You know, if you have any good tips about how to how to use them efficiently, leave them in the comments down below. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because of course there are giveaways every Monday. So if you want to win yourself a really nice game, that's the way to do it. Subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of those. And I will see you next time. Take care, guys. Peace. Bye.